Artificial intelligence, or AI, is getting smarter. Are we getting dumber? There is something slightly strange happening in the world today. We are building machines that can think, write, code, create images, analyze information, and even make decisions. And we are absolutely thrilled about it. But here is the question I keep wondering about. While we are making machines smarter, are we slowly making ourselves less intelligent? Think about how technology has changed us. There was a time when we did calculations in our heads, then came the calculator. We remembered phone numbers, then came the mobile phone. We used maps, then came Google Maps. We searched for information in books. Then came the internet. Every time we handed over a little bit of work to a machine, and life became easier. Now AI has arrived, and this time we aren't just handing over physical work or calculations. We are beginning to hand over something much more fundamental: our thinking. AI can write our emails, prepare presentations, write computer code, solve problems, summarize books, and even help students complete their homework. And this last one is particularly interesting. Imagine a student getting a school assignment. Instead of spending an evening reading, researching, making mistakes, and trying to understand the subject, the student simply asks AI to do the homework. 5 minutes later, the assignment is ready. Beautifully written. Perfectly structured. Probably better than what the student could have written. The homework is done. But has the student learned anything? That is the real question. There have already been concerns about students becoming overly dependent on AI for their academic work and then struggling when they have to perform without that assistance. Because there is a difference between completing an assignment and learning something from the assignment. The struggle is part of learning. Trying to solve the problem is part of learning. Getting it wrong is part of learning. And sometimes spending an hour staring at a problem and thinking, why on earth can't I solve this, is exactly what makes the brain stronger. There's a hilarious scene in the Hindi movie 3 Idiots where Bowman Irani's character tells a student, in essence, that if he is willing to sell his brain, he could probably get a good price because it's as good as new since he had never used it. It gets a huge laugh in the movie. But imagine if that joke becomes a reality. What happens if we simply stop exercising our brains because AI is always there to do the heavy lifting? The problem isn't using AI. The problem is becoming dependent on AI. There's a big difference between asking AI to help you think and asking AI to think instead of you. Take programming. AI can now generate thousands of lines of code in minutes. That is extraordinary. But imagine a programmer who uses AI to build a complicated piece of software without really understanding the underlying logic. The software is deployed, something goes wrong. Now the programmer has to find the problem, and suddenly they are staring at a mountain of code they didn't really understand in the first place. The machine created the solution, but the human never learned how the solution worked. That could become a serious problem. And this isn't just about programmers. It applies to all of us. If we always ask AI for the answer, we may become very good at getting answers without becoming better at finding answers ourselves. And there is another fascinating issue. AI can sound incredibly intelligent. It can give you an answer in seconds, explain it beautifully, and sound completely confident. But confidence doesn't mean correctness. AI can be wrong, and sometimes it can be spectacularly wrong. So the more powerful AI becomes, the more important human judgment becomes. We will need people who can look at an AI-generated answer and say, wait a minute, does this actually make sense? That human ability may become more valuable, not less. And this is why I don't think we should be afraid of AI. AI is going to create enormous opportunities. It can help doctors, scientists, businesses, teachers, students, and ordinary people like you and me. Countries and companies that learn how to use AI effectively and turn it into real-world value are likely to have a huge advantage. So the question isn't whether we should use AI. Of course we should. The question is how we use it. Let AI do the repetitive work. Let it help us research. Let it challenge our ideas. Let it write the first draft. Let it help us code. But don't let it take away our curiosity. Don't let it take away our ability to question. And don't let it take away our willingness to think. Because there's a strange irony in this AI revolution. For centuries, we invented machines to save ourselves from physical labor. Now we are inventing machines to save ourselves from mental labor. And perhaps the biggest risk isn't that AI will become smarter than humans. The bigger risk is that humans may become so comfortable letting AI think for them that one day Bowman Irani's joke from the movie Three Idiots won't be a joke anymore. Our brains really will be as good as new, and that perhaps would be the greatest upgrade we never asked for.